Dragon Ball is one of the greatest fictional series of all time. It's maintained relevance for decades and has also made an indelible impact on gaming as well as anime and manga. You've all heard of games such as Budokai, Tenkaichi, Xenoverse, and Fighters, but what do you guys know about Super Dragon Ball Z? No, not Dragon Ball Super, but Super Dragon Ball Z. It was an arcade fighting game originally released in 2005 and later got ported to the PS2 in 2006. Super DBZ separated itself from other Dragon Ball games of the time by leaning more into being designed like a traditional fighting game, but with some of the added twists of what makes Dragon Ball Z, like giving each character the ability to fly, having destructible obstacles in the environments, and being able to gather the Dragon Balls. I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball, and it's one of the core things from my childhood that has aided in shaping the person I've become. So much so that as a child I played almost every Dragon Ball Z game that got released. The Legacy of Goku series, Super Sonic Warriors, the Budokan games, and even the really bad games like Taiketsu and GT Final Bout. Despite that, the Shin Budokai series and Super DBZ are games that I still play to this day from that time due to how much fun I had with them and the amount of depth they had in their combat systems. And Super DBZ has one of the most in-depth combat systems I've ever experienced in any fighting game, allowing for things like air-to-air combat, unique ways to create juggles off of combos and launchers, skill trees that allow for different character builds so unique that you can play multiple variations of the same character. The game also had a unique visual style that made it stand out and was developed by a team with experience making games like Street Fighter. Despite having that going for it, it never reached the popularity due to lacking in single player content and its complexity. Keep in mind, that's not mentioning the bloat of Dragon Ball games at that time that were being released. But let's get into what makes Super Dragon Ball Z one of the best fighting games of all time. I stated previously that Super Dragon Ball Z was made by a team with experience making games like Street Fighter. This is actually a bit of an understatement because it was made by the dev team who created the Street Fighter EX series, and the co-founder of Arika, the legendary Akira Akiman Yasuda, was one of the designers for Street Fighter 2. The Street Fighter EX series was known for introducing a lot of crazy and over-the-top mechanics, like guard crush attacks and being able to cancel supers into other supers while combining the fundamentals of the Street Fighter series into the fold. Arika would also go on to make their own fighting game IP, which would be Fighting Layer, which had characters that Arika originally designed from the EX series. All this to say that the team designing the game and combat mechanics was more than competent due to their history and experience. The other developer, Krasen Meister, was a small development team that was made up of former Capcom developers in 2004. All this to say, the devs were very experienced and knowledgeable about making a fighting game with strong visuals and enticing gameplay. Compared to the other fighting games, Super Dragon Ball Z has a strong emphasis on freeform movement. Every character can dash, fly, and super dash, and jump, and move by sidestepping in the arena, similar to the Budokai games and other 3D fighting games, with all of these actions being tied to an action gauge, which prevents them from being abused. Keep in mind that the arenas in Super Dragon Ball Z are large and contain obstacles that can be used for cover and can be destroyed, while walls can even allow for you to extend combos if you hit your opponent with a heavy dash attack near one. Movement is a key defining aspect of Super Dragon Ball Z's gameplay. It is what allows for extending combos, avoiding attacks, and neutral. So much so that you have more buttons for movement than you do for attacking. The game has a steep learning curve that leans more towards hard to pick up and harder to master. But once you understand the nuances of the game's movement and mechanics, it allows for some crazy stuff like this. Nowadays, thanks to the precedent set by the Tenkaichi series, Dragon Ball fighting games are very focused on the number of characters included rather than ensuring there are unique movesets and playstyles. Dragon Ball FighterZ got some backlash due to how many characters were available when it was initially released. I think it's due to the perception of how more casual gamers equate quantity with quality, especially with the popularity of arena fighters, though this could be a topic of discussion for a later video. All this to say, there aren't a lot of characters to choose from Super Dragon Ball Z. The cast includes who you would normally expect, like Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu, but there's some wild card choices, like Chi-Chi, Videl, Demon King Piccolo, and Z-Sword Ultimate Gohan? The devs did a great job ensuring that each character feels distinctive and allows for some customization using the skill trees available to each character. Every character has a standard set of skills and abilities, and once you make a character card and start leveling up with your character, you can gain access to new techniques, stat increases, and passive buffs. When you level up, you'll normally have to make a decision on which route you choose to pursue for your given character, because you lock yourself out of a previous stat or ability due to only being able to choose one option as you progress. This means that you can create multiple character cards for the same character and experiment with different builds. If you want to reset the experience and choose the skills all over again, you can by making a wish on the Dragon Balls. Another aspect of this system is that skills can be inherited from other characters, expanding even more on the options and mechanics that are available to your character. When I play, I normally go for inheriting Super Cancel from Gohan, which allows for some high damage combos and easier hit confirms. Compared to other fighting games I've covered on the channel, Super Dragon Ball Z is without a doubt the most niche. It has a very small but dedicated community and doesn't really see a main stage presence at tournaments. It's normally played as a side event if it's available at any FGC events, and it never received any type of port or remaster or re-release since the PS2. So the primary way to play would be emulation. Thanks to coverage from content creators over the past few years and the game having its own tournament recently in Japan, it has gained some more notoriety, with many looking at it fondly as it was one of the very few Dragon Ball games that had a visual style that was very in line and true to the manga, and the depth and high potential of its combat system. All things said, Super Dragon Ball Z stands as one of the best fighting games of all time, due to its unique blend of mechanics from not only traditional fighting games, but also the Budokai franchise and 3D fighting games as well. Its visually distinct manga-inspired style, in-depth customization, and open-ended combat have much to offer any fan of the fighting game genre. It didn't catch much attention from the casual Dragon Ball fans due to its difficulty and lack of single-player content, yet it still stands as an engaging experience that will push you to explore its combat mechanics and is a testament to the talent at Aurica Games and Krafen Meister. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys ever played Super Dragon Ball Z, tell me what you think about it in the comments, and let me know if you want me to cover more Dragon Ball Z games. I'm thinking about covering Shin Budokai. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.